because they're bright.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So thank you so much, Attorney General Paxton, for talking to us. We want to start with what's going on at the border. There are a lot of concerns about what's going to happen on May 11th once Title 42 is lifted. What is your office preparing for? What are you looking ahead to?
So it is going to get worse. It's already bad. It's already the worst it's ever been that I know of. Certainly the increase has been 300 or 400% since the Trump administration. And the Biden administration has done everything they can to reduce federal law to basically nothing, so it has no meaning. And with Title 42 going away and them pushing that out, you're going to have even more problems than we've had, which is hard to believe because it's pretty bad now.
The Biden administration, though, recently has been cracking down with certain new measures, especially for people from places like Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, making it much more difficult for them to come in, though. Is it fair to say they're doing nothing?
Well, it's maybe nothing, but almost nothing. The numbers certainly don't indicate that they're trying. When you have a policy like the Remain in Mexico policy that was put in place by the Trump administration that worked, when you had Title 42 that worked, when he was building a wall that was going to work as a long-term solution, when they stopped catch and release, those things worked. All of those things have been dismantled. So the numbers have quickly risen, not just slowly. They've massively risen. So yeah, have they tweaked it to keep a few people out? Yeah, but not even close to what they should be doing. They should be following federal law that was passed by our elected representatives, not just saying, we're not following these laws, we do what we want to do.
Texas has taken a really different approach. I just got back from there a few months ago. They're sort of taking matters into their own hands, they say, because they have to. Talk a little bit about what your state has been doing as a result of these massive numbers.
We're doing our best. We can't, because there's an arrangement now between the cartels and the Biden administration. It used to be that the cartels would try to sneak people across, but the Biden administration has said to the cartels indirectly that if you bring them to us, you don't have to run anymore, you don't have to hide. Bring them to us, claim the password, which is silent, say asylum, and then we'll take the handoff. So we can try, but it's difficult when Border Patrol has to participate in sort of the crime. We can do what we can do. So we try to catch the people that are coming across in other places and deal with that, but it's not going to solve the problem. We're doing our best, but we're in a bad situation when the federal government is working with the cartels and against the state of Texas and really against the rest of the country.
I want to talk about a lawsuit that you filed against the Biden administration over the unlawful signing and implementation of the Appropriations Act. Talk a little bit about kind of what you see as the big problem here.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty simple. We've never seen this done by Congress. We've never seen a president sign a bill that was passed without a quorum. And I think almost every legislature in the country, I doubt there's any exceptions, but certainly the United States Congress since, 1789, our first Congress, there's been a requirement in the Constitution that there be a quorum. And suddenly Nancy Pelosi came up with this new idea of letting people proxy vote. So they don't have to show up, they hand their vote off to somebody and they're on vacation or wherever they are. And in this case, this $1.7 trillion, we're not talking about an insignificant bill, has a massive impact on my state and on the country, was passed with, I think, 201 people. They didn't have a quorum. That's clearly a violation of the U.S. Constitution.
I mean, obviously, I think the reason this started was because of COVID and people working from home and working remotely over Zoom. We'll wait for this. Oh, there's going to be 3. It's 45, yeah. So I mean, I think this sort of came about because of COVID, because of people working remotely. What specifically do you think needs to happen? So, first of all, I mean, when they passed this budget, COVID was not the thing. They still used it. I'm not sure why she decided to do that. Maybe I don't know, she couldn't get people to come vote. I don't know why. But we're talking about a constitutional requirement that you can't just say, well, I feel like changing that. I'm Nancy Pelosi. The Constitution's been here since the 1700s, and I'm just going to rewrite that law. She can't do that. I don't care who she is. We don't have kings and queens here. We have a Constitution, and she absolutely did not follow it. And the president knew that and still signed this massive legislation that was completely passed illegally. What's your strongest argument in this lawsuit?
I think the strongest argument is that the Constitution is very specific about there being a majority of people there present, and there is a requirement in there that if they don't have a majority, that they can go get those people. But there's nothing said about let's just send in proxy voting. There's nothing in the Constitution that allows for that.
We saw a couple weeks ago the indictment in New York of former President Trump. I just want to get your take. You're a legal mind. What do you think are the biggest flaws in this case?
It's a total sham. The underlying crime, the DA doesn't even say what the underlying crime is that makes it a felony. I know that when you're charged with a crime, they are supposed to, they are required to tell you exactly what you've done so that you can defend yourself. If you don't know what the crime is, you can't possibly defend yourself. You can't mount a defense. It's very unfair, and it's unconstitutional, I think, to try to charge somebody but not tell them what the charge is and make them guess as to how they're going to defend themselves. And of course, we have statute of limitations. That's a little problem too that they've just ignored. But I think this guy, district attorney, he's weaponizing the criminal justice system. I've seen this all over the country. We've seen it for years, and they target their political opponents. And he said when he was running, I will go after Donald Trump, and he did exactly what he said. He delivered on a campaign promise. So this has become so political, and it ruins the credibility of our criminal justice system, which needs to be there to take care of real criminals, which I don't know that this DA wants to do.
There are some other cases pending against the former president, including one regarding classified documents, that he mishandled them, that he obstructed justice in allowing them to be, gotten from his property. Do you think that that he's going to be able to defend himself in this case?
Look, so I haven't seen those charges. I don't think that those charges have taken place. I don't know. I don't know what the specifics of those. When you are charged with a crime, you're supposed to deliver a very specific charge. I don't know what other presidents have done. I don't know what the issues are with those documents until they actually charge them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they keep trying to do this to them. This is the American way. You take out your political opponents by filing as many charges against them as you can, especially when you know they have a really good chance of becoming the next president.
What else do you want to discuss? Anything else?
Good for me.
Is that good? Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure, stay right there. We're going to